everyone. How are you?
Howdy, howdy.
We've got some fun stuff going on tonight. So, I asked Angie to come on. We were talking about this yesterday, I think, and I said I'd love to talk about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case today. And there's nobody else that I could think of that would be a better guest than you because you have your Angie Uploaded channel and that you talk about court cases and everything else. So you have a little more in-depth knowledge, and I know that you've actually been watching most of the court case, whereas I've been kind of watching some of it, watching rewinds of things and people's opinions of it. The last 2 days I have been watching especially on the cross-examination of Amber Heard, and that's been interesting. But how's everybody tonight? I know Umpty's here. I saw D from Sergeant Reds was in here just a minute ago. Caitlin is here. So we're going to start off with the stuff from the con. So I got to go to my very first Comic-Con this weekend.
Hey,
OCD. I was supposed to go 2 years ago, and Motor City's usually in May, and it got canceled because COVID hit. So I had VIP tickets that my parents had bought me for my birthday so that I could skip the line and everything else. And yeah, I didn't get to go. And then it happened last year, I think late October. And they're actually going to do another one in October of this year, which is interesting. I don't know why they're doing two, but hey, Tats, what's going on? I had a blast. Have you been to a Comic-Con before, Angie?
Yes.
You've gone to what, Lexicon?
Yeah, went to Lexicon, and then I went to a smaller one in Lexington PopCon. But yeah, I did go to Lexicon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they hold this out in Novi, which is outside of Detroit proper. It's west of Detroit, and it's a very, very big place. We got there, I think, an hour early, and the line was already almost down to the end of the building. We got there at the right time because within about 20 minutes, it was wrapped around clear to the end. And they'd split the lines up for people who had their bracelets, which I was smart enough to go pick up in advance. And then the line for people who had ordered but didn't have their wristbands yet. And then they oddly opened it up at about 9:30-ish. 9:30, 9:45. They actually opened the doors a little bit early, which was really cool. We stood in line with a guy that was completely head to toe in a Spider-Man outfit, like Lycra all the way. And he had his phone and his bank card and his car key, and he kept dropping his car key. And I was like, where are you going to put that stuff? And he's like, oh, I got a friend coming and is going to put it in his pocket. And he's like, but I'm thinking about making like a web bag, so that I can put it on my back and then I'd be able to carry my stuff. And I was like, that makes sense. Somebody made the joke that, oh, I didn't know Spider Pops is there. I'm like, is he here? Like, it didn't oblivious me. It was like, is he here?
Not you.
Hey, Shep. Hey, Nazarene. So I've got footage. I haven't gone through it all, and I told Mary at Handmade by Robots she could see it first before I put anything out. Because a lot of the footage is not only us shopping, going through the stalls and everything else, but a lot of it is me interacting with people about Handmade by Robots. So I wanted them to see that footage first, before I put it out in the public. And, anything that, if there's certain parts, like when I was talking to vendors and things like that, that maybe they don't want, that's fine.
Yeah.
I have to say the very interesting parts of the Handmade by Robots stuff. We put out 4 envelopes right away. And so there were all these tables set up near the concession stands. And so we put them on there. And I was smart enough to think that someone's not just going to pick up a random envelope. So I wrote on every single one of them, prize inside. So then we did like a kind of a short circuit. We went back. 3 of the 4 were gone. And then there was a table of people sitting there with the 4th one. So I was like, all right. So we just walked around for a little bit, hoping 6'3" of me, someone would see me wearing the shirt, because on, the inside little coupons, it had the shirt. And then I had put 1 of 2 Handmade by Robots on there, so I knew which prize that they got. Well, that wasn't working so well because nobody approached us. So we walked over to where the vehicles were. So they had Ecto 1 was there. Jurassic Park vehicles were there. And honestly, I had no idea that one of them was my parents' neighbors. Their son was driving one of the Jurassic Park. So I didn't know David was there. he was supposedly looking for me, but I didn't even see the car. Oh, I saw the cars, but I didn't get that close to him.
Yeah.
And then the mystery machine. So we took Scooby and Shaggy, because that's two of them that I brought with me to give away. And I put them in the inside the mystery machine. And the guy was super nice. And I said, why don't you get in the picture too? So I do have a picture with him dressed as Fred as well. And inside the mystery machine, which is really cool. And we started talking to those two guys. Those are really the first two people we interacted with about the whole Handmade by Robots thing. And he was in love with them. He's like, I got to buy all of them that are, and I told him about the micros coming out and everything else. And he's like, oh yeah, I got to buy them. These will be great to put in the van. So I don't know if he ordered or not, but they were super excited, and that kind of gets you kind of pumped up when you're doing that. So I had made cellophane baggies that had the cards and the stickers. My sticker, not all of them, because I saved these back these are the ones I have saved back for Patreons. And my card that I made with my QR code on it. So I made up, I think, around 100 of those. Hey, Elam. To pass out. And so we went to different vendors and passed them out and asked them, when are you guys going to start carrying these? Interestingly enough, Toy and K, or Toink, I don't know how they pronounce it, actually said, oh, well, I think there was something about licensing. This is why we didn't carry them. I'm looking at them like, I know for a fact these are all licensed. So we started pulling them out of the bag. Now, can I tell you on a little secret? And this might be pretty funny. I put everything in a Funko bag.
Don't. That. Now, did you do it on purpose, or was it just?
It was here. It was the right size. I needed something that was wide enough and long enough to put Mary's Kirks in, so they were protected. And it ended up fitting everything in there, just about right for us to do that. Now, once I started buying stuff, then it got a little hairy. But once I showed everything, he's like, oh, well, I'll definitely, talk to our office about this. We thought it was a licensing issue. And then I talked to Mary later, and Mary's like, no, they have like a ton of orders. And I was like, all right, well, that guy didn't know what he was talking about. We talked to Galactic Toys out of Grand Rapids. I didn't realize they were in Michigan. So we're actually talking about going over there in June to see my uncle play. And I'm going to try and make a visit to the store and maybe do a video there, shop in the store. So that was fun. Fugitive, maybe? I think it might have been Fugitive Toys was there too. And then several other shops. Anybody who had Funkos or had pop culture type stuff, I stopped and talked to. I handed them out to guys that had comic books because they had some of the figurines and stuff like that. So we ended up passing every single one of the cellophane packs out. Some of them to kids. Hey, you guys want some stickers? Kids will see them, like them, want their parents to buy it. So it was a lot of fun. I would say we got smart about it though, as far as the envelopes go. When nobody, after about an hour and a half, had come up to us to find it, there was a young man who his dad was with him, and it was obvious that he couldn't be there by himself. But he was probably 16 or 17. So I walked over and I said, would you like to try to win your own Batman? And so he looked at me, and I said, here you go. And he ended up opening it, and he did win the Micro Batman. So I gave it to him. And you would have thought that we hung the moon. He thought it was so cute. It was so adorable. It was nice to make him smile. And it was the same thing, the Scooby-Doo guys. He was super excited about it. Another lady liked my shirt and started talking to me about the shirt. And she told us that it was her birthday the day before. So I gave her one. And she did all these really cool, it's Doggy Dana. It's on my Instagram if you guys want to find it. But she does all these cool dog bandanas. And there was like a Chewbacca one with the Chewbacca thing on it. It said "Frack this" if you like Battlestar Galactica. They had a ton of different pop culture ones and normal ones. So she was so grateful to me that she actually is like, pick one of these. What size is your dog? So I took the Rainbow Paw Prints one for Fenway. She's passed out on the other side of the house right now, so I'm not going to go wake her up. But so that was super nice. Then we walked back by the table, and the one was still sitting there. And there were two little boys and their dad sitting there. So I slid it over. I said, do you guys want to win a prize? So the dad looked at me. He's like, well, what do they have to do? I'm like, you just have to open the envelope. I just need to see what's on there, and I'll be able to tell you what you won. And so he opened it up, and he had his choice between the mini Ghostface or the micro Batman. He chose the micro Batman. Well, his 3-year-old brother was sitting next to him, all dressed up, like Spider-Man or Superman or something. And he goes, do I get a prize? And I was like, oh. So I slid another one over to him, and he opened it up, and he ended up winning a full-size figure. So I had Shaggy, Ghostface, and Sloth left because Scooby had already been taken. What do you think he picked?
Ghostface. Smart kid.
3-year-old picked Ghostface.
Kid of my own heart.
Oh, it was great. His dad looked at me, but his dad was super grateful. Like, thank you so much. You know, this has made their day. The little boy was so excited, and so
Look
everybody we talked about,
Brandy going on over there.
it was very fun, and it was enlightening, and kind of it made me happy to be able to see that something I care about so much. Once people know about it, it seems to bring people are very interested, very excited. Oh my gosh. And then I started shopping.
Well, there went the day.
Yeah, because we had some time before we could get in line for Shatner. So I love these. I have to show these. So these are meant to look like they're in like a clear case, and they're meant to look like boarded figures. Here, I'll make myself big so you guys can see it real quick.
Oh no, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
That is.
So that's that Lego fig. And then, of course, I had to have all 3 of them.
That is darling.
And they were like $8-10, and then I bought my best friend who went with me, who I talked into going with me. So I got the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda too. But all the Baby Yodas are different, which is weird. But I talked her into going, so I got her Bob Ross with the Deadpool head on the floor, and I don't know why the Deadpool head was on the floor, but whatever. But so that was really cool. I would have to say, what's your favorite part of when you go to a con?
I like looking, at all the different pops. And then I also like this right here. Kind of like what you just did. Okay, so I like seeing the creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy makes these out of wire. I think BOP actually bought one this go around. I saw it on a video, but Richard bought this. It's Venom. And we stood there and watched him make some of these. And I like seeing some of the creativity that people come up with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the costumes.
Oh, the people watching.
I love seeing the people dressed up.
And that's another reason why I wasn't going to show raw footage, because there were a couple of times where we just both looked at each other, because she's been my best friend for 20 years or so. And we would look at each other and just bust out laughing, like, what is that? Like, I don't even understand what it is. And there were a lot of anime which I didn't know, but there's sometimes, like, I know that I should not put my body into a full Lycra outfit.
Girl, we say that when we go to the mall up here. We're like, me and Richard will look at each other like, no, she knew better than that.
Oh, but there was great. There was people that the one guy, if I didn't know that I was at a con and I knew that wasn't right from the show, the Mandalorian costume that I saw was amazing. There was a woman that was in the all gold armor Wonder Woman, and she had what appeared to be cardboard or something. The wings went out, and then she could fold them back in too, just like the actual costume. That was cool. Lots of Harley Quinns, lots of people dressed like Scooby-Doo, lots of anime, lots of Poison Ivy, Batman, Spider-Man was a big one. One kid dressed as Miles Morales. Fat Thor was great. That was an awesome costume. A lot of Star Trek people. There was a guy who was probably 10 feet in the air as a Wookiee. He wasn't Chewbacca. It looked different, and I knew he was on stilts because he had to have a cane to keep himself, from toddling over. But it was an amazing costume. Like if you would have just seen it walking through the crowd, you'd be like, "What the heck is that?" So that was really cool. My favorite part though was for me, honestly, was the artist alley, which sounds weird, but talking to some of those people and hearing their stories. And one of the things that I've gotten into more recently, again, thank you, Teresa Newell. It's just Big Bone Thor.
Heck yeah.
Walmart is a great place to people want. Where is it? I met. This is so everybody knows I love Fraggle Rock, right? So this isn't technically a comic book; it's more like a children's book. But I got it signed by Jay Fosgate, and this wasn't that expensive. It was like $5 or something, and they signed it for free, which was amazing. And then I met Bill Loebs, and what I didn't know about Bill Loebs, he's in this. I don't know if he did what part of the cover that he actually did, but it was Wonder Woman. So this one was 20. But I got him to sign it, and he's like, "Do you want your name on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is not leaving my collection." And I had a whole conversation with him. He's actually missing his one of his arms. So it amazes me that he's as steady and has still been working in comics, and he only had one arm. So that was super cool. This is Ted Woods, and this is a sketch cover.
Oh my God.
He didn't do any art on this comic, but he's just known for doing, sketch art on blanks. So I thought this was really cool. This looks like the new Batman. To me, this looks like, what's his nuts? Edward Cullen. But, this was just amazing. The background and everything else. I mean, if you looked at this from afar, you wouldn't know that that's a sketch. You'd think that was actually printed out on there. And so that was super cool. And then the last one that I got, this woman, bless her heart for being there. This is Aletha Martinez. She did art in this book. This is Superman Red, White, and Blue. And so I got her all I had to pay was what the cover price was for the book.
Ooh.
And then she autographed that for me as well. But she was super pregnant. She had a Chihuahua. And so I was talking to the dog and talking to her and everything else. And she was on her feet and running it. Hey, Obi, how are you? Tracy, Robert Pattinson. Thank you.
Yes. Robert
Pattinson. So, that was great. And then I met, where is it? I think his name is Aaron Lambert. Aaron Lambert. I'll show you what I bought from him because I had to.
Did you have to, Brandy?
I had to.
You said I had to. Ooh. Man, those eyes, honestly, everybody look at the eyes. Don't they look like he's staring right at you?
Isn't this great?
That is
yes.
amazing.
She was pregnant. She was not pregnant with a dog, Obi. She had her dog with her, but she was very, very pregnant. What's going on, Johnny?
Leave it to Obi.
And then you got a discount if
Johnny.
If you bought two. So this is the other one that I got, and then he signed this one right here as well for me. But this is Michelangelo because Michelangelo is my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Those are great.
So I'm following him on Instagram if you guys want to see him or follow him or whatever. He does great work. I'll try. I don't know if I can get it out of this. I ended up buying one of these hard sleeves because you guys probably saw it on Instagram. I also bought my mom a Jack Sparrow print, which I was going to talk about later when we get into our next subject.
Yes.
Here's his card with the QR codes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
So he's super cool. And then this guy's name is Tamasma, and I kept watching people walk up to him, and they were kind of getting screwed up faces and stuff and walking away. And I kind of felt bad for him, but at the same time, I saw his art and I loved it. So I bought a piece of his too. And he's like, they're normally 20, but I'll do it for 15. I'm thinking, no, I'm going to give you the full 20. You're out
Good
here
for you.
Yeah. So I ended up giving the full 20, but check that out.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that cool?
And he was going to sell that for 15.
Yeah, and this is like an 11 by 17. It's huge. I was like, no way, I'm only giving you 50. I'm like, and he went to get me change. I'm like, no, keep it, my dude. Keep it.
Good for you, Brandy.
And then this is the last one that I got. We all know why. And this is another one of the metallic ones that kind of, it's not showing up good on there, but though, if you look at it in person, the way the lightning and everything is, it like really pops and glows off of that. So I got that. We got some hair things. I forget. I bought my best friend something else too. I don't remember what else I got her, but those were my purchases.
So you spent some money.
I did. Not as much as I thought. And the reason is I was going to get the Frog Lady Pop, but nobody could get Wi-Fi signals in there, so none of their squares and stuff were working. Newbie me didn't know that I needed to bring cash. So thank God there were ATMs in there, but I walked away from the Funko Pop because he couldn't take my card. And by the time we circled around to, the ATM and everything, I was like, ooh, squirrel, so on to something else. So,
well, when I went to LexCon, I actually met up with Nazarene, and y'all can ask her. I had every intention of buying, like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. I had every intention of buying certain pops, and they were not cheap. But every one I found that I wanted that was on my list was damaged. And it was like, it's a shame that I can sit here, I can hold it in my hand, I can tell it's not a fake, I can do all of that, but every one that I wanted had damage to it.
yeah.
And so I was done at that point. So I just started filming footage, mind you, I have not even released yet, and that's been almost
I
a
know
year
that now, Caitlin. So now we've been on our feet. We've been on our feet for like 4 or 5 hours already, right? I don't know, maybe 3. Let's call it 3 to be safe. So I knew that William Shatner had a panel and it was going to be ending soon. So we went over to get in line for the autographs for Mary and her sister. And we started talking to people in line, and Sergeant Reds gave me coupons for inside the envelopes as well. Mm-hmm. So shouts out to Dee and John for giving me the coupons. And I started talking to this guy, and he does all vintage Star Wars figures, right? He said he's got over 1,000 Stormtrooper.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't have 2 or 3 to give out, so
I got tickled.
Barbara, did you see these? Look how cute these are. I love those. I honestly want to buy about. I want to collect those now. I mean, those are like 1/4, like I don't know, 1/4 size of a Funko. Do you know how many I could put in this room?
Well, y'all know I've never seen Star Wars, none of them, but I would so collect those. Those are cute.
And they had everything. I mean, from sports figures to celebrities and everything. I mean, like Bob Ross was all painted up. I don't know if they use a clown head or what, but I mean, they did a great job of putting these together, and every single one, like I said, every single one of those Baby Yodas is different, which is also why I got them. Yeah. Bob, look. Freaking love them. And they were like $8 to $10 a piece. So I'm hoping they're going to be back in October because they're doing this again in October, and I want to go back a second time.
Thank you, Eric.
Back to Shatner. So we get over there and we're talking to those people, and the guy has vintage Star Wars figures, and he said he has 1,000 Stormtroopers, and he builds dioramas of the different scenes that he was doing. And I said, well, Sergeant Reds has a whole ton of vintage Star Wars, inbox of the Millennium Falcon and the Emperor's ship and all that kind of stuff, and cases of the figures. So if you need some or one, here, I had some extra coupons. I gave him one of the coupons and I said, check them out. And right behind that was this young girl that goes, Sergeant Reds, I love Sergeant Reds. Out came a gold envelope, So I gave her one and she ended up winning. I think she's the one that took Scooby, I think. There were probably 4. So the line, was like a cattle call, but it was just tape on a floor. There were no fences in between anything. No way of keeping people from just like walking into the line either, unless you do. I mean, you're taking your chances with Detroit people trying to do that. But there was only half of the line was full. Well, then these people started walking down the aisle saying that their internet wasn't working. So as a result, they can't scan our QR codes on our phone, which is how we got. I mean, you could print them, but you still had a QR code. So you had to stand in line with your code to get a paper ticket and then get in a line again. So all of a sudden they brought an extender over and the line, they started putting people in line. We should have been, by the number of people, we should have been able to get right into the cattle line. But then all of a sudden that line just got swarmed. I don't know where those people came from. The event staff was like, I don't know what they were doing. So then they put us in this like cove, like this big cove. It was probably, you could fit 20 people shoulder to shoulder wide. But we were in the very back corner of it, right? And I'm self-confessing that I have claustrophobia. So my best friend and I were like both back there. It was 9,000 degrees. We were like hyperventilating because we're in this cove stuck in a corner. We only had to wait like 45 minutes or maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before they started moving the line and getting it through. First impressions of William Shatner. He's tiny. He's so little.
But Brandy, you're kind of tall. So
I'm telling you, it was like all he could do to get his chest and his arms up above the countertop. I mean, he's just this little guy. Hey, Jerry, how are you?
I love it.
Oh, and the other thing was he wasn't really talking to people. It was very much a business of sign it and go. And I don't know who the Funko people were that were in line, but they had probably 12 to 18 pops they were getting signed at $120 a pop. $120 for his signature. But he'd never seen the Kirk Handmade by Robots. When we were showing people in the line, for the Kirk line, the Kirks, everybody wanted one. Like, where do they have these here? Where can I get it? No, you can't, but you can get them at X, Y, and Z website. You can get them on Amazon. They don't have them on Handmade by Robots anymore, but and we just passing out stuff, Handmade by Robot stuff. So that went well. And we did do a loop and kind of film. Freddie Prinze Jr. was there. Jamie Kennedy, if he hadn't been standing in his booth, I would have thought he was a homeless person. Long, scraggly beard, hair coming out of a baseball hat. He looked horrible. Like, honestly,
No.
I hope it's for a role, but it looked like a big decline of someone who was very famous. Brenton Thwaites, he's adorable. Carrie Elwes canceled and then ended up showing up. But he wasn't like everybody else. He had a full curtain around him. You had to go in the curtain, talk to him, come back out of the curtain. But because he was right next to Shatner and the curtain was parted, I could see him. He looks like he hasn't aged a day. Alicia Silverstone looked great. I didn't get to see the Superman people, nor could I find the Motor City Comic Con Superman comic book that I wanted to get. I have no idea where that was. So... But all in all, it was a really good time. We left because we knew there was a thunderstorm coming and, Fenway's terrified of it. So we left in plenty of time to get home before the storm hit. We did another loop around to see if anybody would come up with those envelopes. I still have the prizes here. But my card was in there with all my social media on it, both typed out and QR code, how to reach me. So Mary said, if they don't show up, then guess what? You guys will benefit because May 24th, I have a sloth that I'll be giving away and 3 Micro Batmans that are left. So those will be giveaways on the Whatnot. So
And speaking of that, you've got a whatnot coming up, don't you?
I do. We'll pitch that towards the end. I'm very interested in getting in with you on the topic of why I have you here.
Oh.
So Angie and I agreed beforehand. We just want to preface this. At no point do Angie and I think that domestic violence is okay. It is not a joke. I don't think that anybody will ever know the real story because there's always three sides to every story. His, hers, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. So we're not making light of domestic violence. I don't condone it in any way, shape, or form. If you are living in it or have lived it, it's very painful. And there's always someone to talk to, though. So if you are in that kind of a situation, I hope you know that that is the great part of this community is we do rally around our own. And don't be afraid to reach out if you're in one of those situations. But that's not where we're going with this whole talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, which has become the current court case of the century. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree. And I would like to say that anything that we discuss is alleged. Just
alleged. Yes.
Alleged. So, but yes, this has become, I swear this has become the OJ trial for this generation.
Mm-hmm.
It is that captivating. I can walk through my hallways at work and just hear people talking about it. That's it. It's crazy. And I never thought, I was like, okay, well, it'll be on. People will watch it. Man, this has gotten crazy.
So my mom is obviously obsessed with Johnny Depp, and
yes.
On my Instagram was the piece of artwork, "Hi, baby girl," that I had purchased for her at the con, and I wasn't afraid to do so. Like if this had gone differently the past several days, or what's come to light in the courtroom had gone differently, I might have been a little hesitant to purchase that picture because he's gotten a bad rap of people thinking that he's a wife beater. But I wasn't, and it's because of how things have gone. And my mom's been listening to it. My mom signed the petition to, she doesn't want Amber Heard and Aquaman 2. I told you guys in the chat today that if she's going to be in that movie, I don't think I'm going to pay to go see it because I don't want her making a dime. It's my honest belief that a lot of what she's saying has been embellished. And I also have got the feeling based on the cross-examinations and things like that she's been more aggressive than she's ever admitted.
Yes. I agree with that. I do believe that she is a type of person who has gotten by her whole life manipulating people, and she is trying to do that now. But there are so many people with their, eyeballs are all on her right now, and people are seeing. It's just too bad that the jury can't see everything that we're seeing. But I do believe that she is the type of person who can spin something to try to make it, and probably usually succeeds to come out in her favor. I believe that she's one of those people who could take a lie detector test and pass it. Sometimes I think she actually believes in her own mind the lies that come out of her mouth. And I do say lies because if you've followed this entire trial, she contradicts herself constantly.
So there's a rumor floating, or I don't know if you've seen this, but since some point today, there is a tweet that's out right now that allegedly the courts in the UK are doing an investigation now to see if she perjured herself based on what's come to light during this case. Most importantly, hi, Talia. Most importantly, the donation part. Okay, she was very much to the ACLU and everything else. I don't want any of this money. I don't want to profit from this marriage whatsoever. I'm going to donate. So I know that the contentious part was Johnny Depp, donated $100,000 to each one of the charities in her name,
Mm-hmm.
which was supposed to go towards the settlement because there was a
Yes.
part of the agreement he needed to donate $200,000 immediately. She got upset because he would then get a tax break for it. Is that your understanding of it as well, Angie?
Yes, because he could break it up like that. He could get continuous tax breaks from it instead of just doing one lump sum. Yes. So,
So then she got upset and was basically like, he can do that if he wants to, but then you need to actually pay $14 million because of some sort of a tax break or something like that. You're actually only paying half. And I was like, what's, like, really, are we going to be that petty about it? If the charity gets their money, who cares, what happens? Or you're just saying, oh, well, he's getting off scot-free. I guess I can see that point of it. Well, if you get 50% of whatever you donate back, then, or off on your tax returns, then I guess I can kind of see her point. But what's the difference between that and you getting it, you donating it, and you get half of that back, which means you're actually taking half of that money that he had to pay you that was supposed to go to charity to use for shopping sprees, trips, and everything else. 6 one way, half dozen another.
mm-hmm. And then she is saying, okay, she got, he did not sue her until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And she got her last bit of money in 2018. So she was paid in full, but
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to say, well, no, once she finally started, quit saying pledged and started saying donate, because every time Camille Vasquez would say, so as of today, you have not donated. And she says, that is incorrect. I pledged. And Camille Vasquez was like, please answer my question. So she was trying, Amber was saying because she pledged it, that was the same as donating it. And then she told the jury, oh, I use pledged and donate synonymously. And I
Which
look over
is
here
not
because every
true.
time she speaks, she talks to the jury. I mean, it's.
Yes, she turns and is very stoic to them. But
Yeah.
point of order there is you have not if you're using pledge and donate synonymously, you still haven't pledged, donated, dropped off, rolled pennies or anything, all of that money. And that was 4 years ago that you had that money. 4 years ago. Then she tried to say, well, it's because I got sued. Girlfriend,
Right.
you had it for a whole year before you got sued.
Bingo. And and this is how I say it. I could pledge to lose 100 pounds this year. That don't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
It ain't happening until I stand up here and say, hey, y'all, I did it. You know what I mean? So I think she's trying, she's not stupid. She's not I don't think she's stupid by any stretch of the word, but that's just one of those things I think that she's trying to manipulate by using a play on words here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's worked for her in the past, but I'm just hoping that the jury's catching on to that. But that was one of those that just got all over me.
The op-ed so if you guys see our names below, so Vasquez for president and then Team Camille over there, that's because this attorney on Johnny Depp's side has been amazing, absolutely amazing, stellar. She's firm but not attacking. She doesn't let anybody squirm out, answer the question. That's not what I ask you, strike everything after yes. It wasn't giving her an option to go too far to kind of talk her way out of things. There were several voicemails. What's up, Newell? Several voicemail or recordings played today as well that were very eye-opening. And in one, I don't know if you heard it today, where she was laughing maniacally and at him, like pecking at him. Now, you will have to talk about any recordings that she played regarding him, when he was testifying, because I didn't hear any of that. So were there actual recordings of Johnny being aggressive or sounding like he was actually hurting her?
I have yet to hear a recording where it sounds like Johnny is hurting her, has hurt her. The only thing that I have heard as far as physical from Johnny is that he pushed her. And I don't, some of it is a little low, so I don't know if she was going after him and he pushed her away or if he just walked up and pushed her. I can't speak for that. Do I think Johnny's an angel in all of this? No, I don't.
Amen. No.
But I do not think that he is the person that he has been made out to be. And I don't blame him one bit for doing this to try to clear his name, especially for his children's sake. That's his whole thing. I think he could care less about the money, honestly, but it was to clear his name. But no, Brady, I haven't heard anything as far as recordings to where he is sounding aggressive. I do hear things. I do hear name calling. But I can tell you, just my personal opinion, I think that she has pushed him to the point. When somebody pushes you so far and then you just start lashing out verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's all I'm getting. Now, Johnny was, according to him, he was abused as a child, by his mom, and it's being and Amber's being compared to his mom. And so what he would do when he was younger would retreat. He would go to another room. He would walk out, and he would try to do that in the relationship, and then Amber would try to follow him. And so you try to when you're with somebody, they learn all of your insecurities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Amber took all of Johnny's insecurities about his mom and his growing up and everything, and she's flipped it. And so she would attack him with it, trying to push his buttons. And anytime she got a photo opportunity, or she created a photo opportunity, she would take pictures. And I just don't understand what type of person. It looked like that she has been preparing for this the whole time.
So you bringing up the photos is interesting because she had yesterday they brought up a lot of photos where it appeared Johnny Depp was passed out, and I will have to say the 100% certain thing is that both of them look like very troubled people coming out of this case. Between Johnny Depp not denying that he's done drugs and had a drinking problem and everything else, probably still does, but airing this all out in public has not made either one of them look very good. I think he's looking better because of the team, his team that he has behind him. Yes. But the photos, of he spilled wine on me. Well, if you knew he's passed out, why are you sitting right next to him for him to spill wine on you? The third time, one time it happens, okay, I'd be a little upset. I go change my pants, whatever, and I'm back to my day. If they're going to be passed out drunk, leave them passed out drunk, whatever. The fact that it happened 3 times because you kept going sitting by him and bothering him and waking him up or doing whatever you were doing is why you got spilled on 3 times. But there are no photos of the alleged abuse. And did you see yesterday where the night she said that some things happened? I know there's the little Sergeant Reds are here, so are listening. There was abuse, and she had a split lip and black eyes. She said black eyes and this pussy crusty thing in her hair, and she was on James Corden the very next night.
Mm-hmm.
And there's close-up shots. They took blown-up shots of her face from that show that night where she had done these pictures, her mouth's wide open. I'm sorry, but there is not any amount of lipstick that you could put on a cut as bad as what you indicated that you had that would have covered that. You would have been able to see that. That split in her lip, not there.
That's just like the 2 broken noses. At first, she said that her nose was broke, and this was on 2 separate occasions. Then it went to, no, what I said was it felt like it was broke. Mm-hmm. Because it was swollen, and and bruised. And then they said, well, how were you able to cover it up for an event that night? And they were saying makeup. Okay, well, how does makeup cover swelling? She said ice. How many of y'all have seen people with broken noses?
I've gotten pounded in the face with a volleyball. The swelling on my face, now that's a volleyball. It didn't break my nose, but it hit me square right here. The swelling didn't go down for 3 or 4 days. I don't care how much ice you put on that, it's not going to be down by that night. And she was in a backless dress in Australia when she said she all this damage to her too. And
Yeah,
that was another indication. There's no proof. Her doctor, there was that report yesterday from her doctor, and the doctor did not. She said that she was having headaches or something like that. There was absolutely nothing written in the doctor's report. Well, the doc, that's not what the doctor was looking for. Da 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 da, or I had the makeup on, or whatever. Bullshit. If a doctor with the Hippocratic oath and everything else that they have to go through would have seen, sorry for my language, would have seen anything that would have pointed to abuse, and don't tell me that that wouldn't have been a prime place for her to say, I'm being hit.
You know, there is, and that's why we touched on some of that earlier, Teresa. In no way, shape, or form are we saying that any of this is okay. We do not think that either one of them are angels. And it's I just don't like when she's up there and she's contradicting her own self. That is the problem. If you're going to call somebody out and you're going to call them a wife,
an abusive person,
yes, then where is the proof? She's tried to prove everything else. She has she she videoed him the day his mom passed away. She's got video of him slamming doors, cabinet doors, and throwing things. Okay, this is the craziest I've probably seen of all of these recordings, videos, or whatever. But his mom had just passed away. She gets out of bed and she's like, well, what's going on? You know? And okay, I don't know. I think she tried to set him up. Is my personal opinion on the situation.
I
But
think it was toxic from both sides.
yes.
It's very well documented that when he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, that he could be a horrific human being, which is sad because I've met him in person and he didn't come off to me. But of course, you're putting your best foot forward and you're getting paid to stand there and take pictures with people. But he seemed very docile to me. I didn't get that. When you walk up to certain people that they're just going to be jerks. I don't know her either. And yes, I'm probably skewed because of the fact that I want to believe him because of what his character. I have the same bird tattooed on my hip that's on his arm. I want to believe that he wasn't, but at the time and everything that I've heard that's come out in the media up until the points of these trials, I've believed her, and that was the sad part, is that I didn't want him to be Jack Sparrow anymore, and I hated the fact that now Jack Sparrow to my family had been, sullied because it had meant so much to us. It was the dog that we lost and everything else. But the more that I've watched the replays of things in this trial, the more my opinion is starting to switch based on evidence that's been played and listening to those two having conversations and who is the aggressor in that conversation. And if she was that afraid of him, why are you telling him to come home? Why are you calling him, please come home, I love you? And then the diary today was very telling as well. All of the different diary entries, that was very telling. She was the one apologizing in a lot of it. Sorry for my behavior. Da, 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 da. Well, they both do, Teresa. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. It's like neither one of them are right. I believe that they both did things. They are obviously toxic together.
Hmm.
I mean, I think she has abandonment issues, and he has, the childhood abuse issues. And I think when she
Dependency
doesn't,
issues.
yeah, and so she doesn't want him to leave because she has the abandonment issue, and he has to retreat from a situation because that's just what he's always done. So that leaves them, her wanting him wanting to walk away. She's pulling, and obviously that's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't believe that he never put his hands on her. I also don't believe that she didn't put her hands on him. I think it was a toxic relationship from the get go. Um, I don't know why the two of them stayed in it as long as they did. I think that they probably, but I don't think either one of them are victims. Honestly, I think they both created their own bed and lied in it. I like literally you've created this situation, and you're being toxic not only to yourselves, but it's portraying out to your children and out to your friends and family who have had to witness some of this stuff going on.
Yeah, and no, I don't have one eye. I have a glare, if that's what it is.
Well, probably.
Um, yeah, I don't think that either one of them are going to get a dime, nor do I think either one of them should from this. I I do think that um, he was portrayed by her to be worse than I personally feel that he was. And I hope that his children, at least, which I don't think they ever believed it anyway, get some kind of satisfaction knowing that their dad didn't do everything that she is saying that he did, including the R word. There's a lot of things that she has said that he has done, and and one of them I just don't see how it's possible. But I'm not going to go into some of that because
So why don't we end it with what you told me to pull up? So we'll end it on a funny, happy, bright note. Does that sound good?
Yes, yes. So there is a compilation of Johnny isms. So when he is on the stand, sometimes he can make some funny jokes, and he really shouldn't be joking, but I get it in some of these instances. Anyway, somebody compiled some of them up, and they are really funny. So
So this is just part one. There are several parts, you guys.
yes,
So
there's
this is
several
just to
parts.
break the tension of the seriousness of this and make everybody laugh. There might be a bad word or two in here, so apologize if you have young children. This might be the time to turn them away.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his
Objection.
pants, didn't he? And then you went in the house and saw Mr. Depp in the foyer, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Next question.
And you were trying to get Mr. Depp. You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me.
Well, objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked a question.
Okay.
In my head, I was like, you think someone's trying to get into your unit? That was the dog trying to get into your unit.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
It's a photograph of the bed, and on my side of the bed was human fecal matter.
Was she friendly to you any of these hundreds of times?
Yes. I'm not gonna say no.
She's giving you gifts over $8,500, correct?
You gave me a little more than that.
And on line 11, are you there? Do you have the document up?
Online?
No, I'm sorry. Is it in your? Great. Did I read that right?
You did, sir. I was drinking.
You were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there?
Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article.
And the last one, did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one.
Slap me across the face.
And I laughed. Proceeds to do a cavity search. Like, just shoved his fingers inside me.
No.
As I'm walking away, I walk away from him.
This is proving Teresa's point that they are both actors.
Yeah.
Boot. He just kicked me in the back. And
Mental condition. If that please.
Ha! I love that.
Have you seen
I watched that happen.
Mr. Depp take any drugs by this point?
oh yeah, sorry if I left that out. I'm looking at it in his eyes and I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Say to him in some way. I don't want to do this. Johnny took his penis out of his pants.
Wait, what?
I lose my balance. At this point, we're sitting next to each other on the edge of the couch, or I was on the edge of the couch. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet, wondering how I wound up on this carpet. Why I never noticed that the carpet was so filthy before.
How old are you, Amber?
I am 36. I just celebrated.
Okay. And do you have a daughter?
I do. She also celebrated her birthday recently. She's 1.
Okay.
I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him and I said, Johnny, you hit me. You just hit me.
Just do a split screen so we can see.
Proud dad moment.
Paul Bettany's a good friend that you've done drugs with, right?
That's a strange question. Where's he gone?
Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
Sure, maybe you should look at his highlighted copies.
Oops, I touched the screen horribly.
No,
Pardon me.
you. It's okay.
Reflecting a different time than when they were actually sent.
Objection foundation calls for speculation.
You agree with that, right?
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet. You sustained an injury. Yesterday, you texted, I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of texts today.
It's all right, I did text someone yesterday. Where she could be.
Check me out.
Thank you, Mr. Rodenborn.
The recording where Miss told you that you vomit in your sleep a lot. Do you remember that recording?
Yes, I do.
What's your response to that?
When someone tells you that you vomit, she didn't tell me. I heard it in court. I think the first thing that I would do is seek medical attention.
Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Mr. Depp, if you could please take a look at the stack of articles in front of you.
Yes, it's a stack of hit pieces.
Yes, the first one is called
by Ms. Heard's publicity team.
We're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Correct?
Now the
That's
lady
what
in the
it says,
purple
yes.
is that's
It's
Elaine,
entitled
isn't
Johnny
it?
Depp. Friends and
Elaine,
family
Elaine,
seriously
Elaine.
concerned about him here.
All right, well, we played enough of that.
Yeah. But if y'all would go on and see,
Hey, Annie.
there are several of those, and they're hilarious.
It's not swayed. That was just the first one. There's 10 of them. It's got from both of them, but I mean that right to Newell's fact that the fact is that they are both very good actors. I mean, on both sides, it really is. But just want to lightheart everything up and so
yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a Geek Meets Eats without something to try. So, have you seen this yet?
Yes, I have, and I've tried it.
And what do you think?
I don't like it. It makes when you open it up, it's like it's gonna blow up.
It is blowing up.
Yeah. Connor likes to try a bunch of different stuff. He's like you, but I always get the first sip out of everything, and I thought that tasted like flat Pepsi, flat Coke, flat. I don't like Pepsi anyway, but it tastes flat, is what it tastes to me.
And that's the exact thing. I was talking to my mom, so I tried one of these yesterday. I think was I had gone to the grocery and I tried one. I was thirsty and I don't know. I wanted to talk about this tonight, so I grabbed one. My mom's best friend thinks that it tastes more sweet than normal Pepsi. But that's exactly what you said. It's supposed to be smoother. I mean, you can see foam in there. It looks like I've had Nitro Guinness, and I love Nitro beers because they're smooth.
Mm-hmm.
This literally tastes like flat pop.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. When you open it up, you think you're just going to get this burst of flavor because of what it does, but then it's like, and it's literally flat soda is what it tastes like. That's a big no. But I will be glad to cheer you on, Teresa.
Well, we're going to talk about that now. So, I got on Whatnot, and I do want to preface this in saying is I've heard that some people are upset about me selling Funkos. I have almost 1,000 of them. Okay, I have been spending money buying more shelves to put them on instead of finally realizing, and it's not anyone's fault. It's not Handmade by Robots' fault. I do love them. That's kind of my new niche. I also have an entire box of comic books now because that's my new niche. I am going to continue to collect the Funkos in sodas that I want. I'm not going to continue to blindly collect everything. When I first started getting into Funko, I would grab any Funko I could get my hands on. And a lot of it was speculative. There were things that I didn't care about, but, ooh, this might be a grail. I might be able to flip it, someday and make a profit off of it. And then I drilled down a little bit more, and it was Star Wars, it was Transformers, it was G.I. Joes, it was Ninja Turtles, it was Masters of the Universe, Back to the Future, Mandalorian, everything that's breast cancer, I have all of those. I started off doing ad icons. I could care less about the ad icons anymore. They're here. I'm not getting rid of any of them that were gifted to me or that my mom bought for me. I am not getting rid of Mandalorian. I am not getting rid of my Back to the Future. I am not getting rid of, like, this whole wall over here, which if I could turn the camera, you would see is still full. Okay. But I don't need almost 1,000. A lot of the sodas that I'm doing, the sodas are going to be commons that I have. Any of the commons that you guys want, they're going to start at $5. However, there will be a prize. So everybody will get a soda no matter what, but some of them will have a sticker on the bottom. And then those people will get a ticket into a hard stack, and there will be a prize at the end of that for whoever gets that. So the more you buy, the more chances that you have to win that. Additionally, this is the big boy, okay? This is the big boy. So I'm going to have 12 sodas. 10 of them are chases. This is one of them that is not a chase, okay? This is just the common, but this is also the floor. The ceiling is this guy.
That is sweet.
Okay, according to PPG, one sold recently, and according to eBay, one sold recently for $500. This one. Yeah, true. I'm gonna blindly collect Handmade by Robots until I decide not to. I've got 3 more coming tomorrow because the Hocus Pocus ones are out. Well, 3 of them are out. So this is gonna be the big dog. Okay, there are black light chases in here. There are metallic chases in here. There are older ones that are chases in here, and they're ones that I don't really care that much about. So I got these just because it was a thing to get. Chase. SDC Toucan with the con sticker. Chase. I don't care about it. I'm keeping Agatha Harkness is in there. Chase. Rocket Chase. Silent Bob chase. So there's going to be 12 of them. 10 of them are going to be chases. Then there's the Vampire Freddy in there and the AP He-Man. Okay. That's a big one that I'm doing. I've already got buy it nows that are up there. And one of them that people are surprised I'm selling is Sloth. Okay. Well, nobody pays my bills but me. There's things that I want to do. There's things that I need to get done for myself. And I'm sitting on, nope. Everybody watch the chat, please. Anybody who's a moderator. There's things that I want to get done for myself, and no one else is going to do that for me. But I'm going to make it fun because I do eat dumb things. So as part of what the in the video that I put out about tonight, so for every $500 that I sell, it's going to increase. So we're starting with Hockey Jalapeno, which is their hot. It's not even their most mild, it's their hot.
No.
If we get to the next $500, it's Fiery, which is their super hot. We get to the next $500. We're doing to the Ghost Pepper. And I doubt we'll get there, but if we do, I have that popcorn that is the world's hottest popcorn that Ginger bought me, and that will be if I hit the $2,000 mark. So there is incentive for you guys to buy things because the more you buy, the more I have to hurt myself, or hurt my intestines, I should say. I'm gonna have
It hurt me just to look at.
common sodas are gonna start at $5. I mean, this is another one of the big boys that's in there. Is this?
Ooh.
That's over $200 pop. The graded Michelangelo. I'm never going to have the rest of the grayscale, and I don't know. I'm just kind of over it. There's Freddy's in there. There's Marvel in there. There's Star Wars in there. Disney's in there. There's anime in there. There's all kinds of good stuff. So there's something for everybody. I need everybody's help to kind of get people there. Thank you to Tater and Mr. Tater Tot. They will be on, let me check the time. They're on Whatnot on this Thursday. I believe she said 8:30, but she's been absolutely amazing, as has Angie and everybody that's in our normal chat with telling me how to do this. 8 p.m. Eastern on Whatnot. So check them out. They're awesome. She's been, because a lot of it is sodas. I mean, I've got over 30 commons and then the 12, but if I want to build hype for somebody who's going to want these chases that are in there, or would be interested in buying an AP soda, or getting in on an AP soda, then I need to go to Soda People that are selling sodas on Whatnot. So I did that.
Hey, Ezra.
Hey, Ezra. So, and well, I don't know, because I might be making a deal for it beforehand. If there's anything that you guys see in the Buy It Nows or something, and you guys are my friends and you support the channel, please come to me beforehand and we'll work out something. And I'll take it off there. But so I might be making a deal. If not, then the Scooby-Doo 6-pack's going out too, with the Chase Shaggy in it. I got it just because I didn't get the Ninja Turtle one and I wanted the thrill of opening it, but now that the thrill is gone, I'm like,
That's what we did. But we didn't get the chase we wanted.
yeah, I think you and I got like basically the same pack, right? You got Shaggy as well.
Yeah, and but we got 2 because we did that miscommunication deal. But it was like the ghost thingy. I forget which one he got. I got Shaggy, but we both wanted Scoob, so just didn't happen.
The auction is May 24th at 7:30, so that's next Tuesday. So I will not be live on here because I'm going live on there. So when you guys are used to watching me, you can just go to Whatnot and watch me. Okay.
Yes.
If you guys have any, well, I don't know. What do you like for music? Like, do you just keep it all upbeat? You play 80s, 90s music, so that there's a little bit of everything? I mean, I don't know what to do as far as playlist goes.
I like to keep it. I do like AC/DC and stuff like that because it's songs people know. But if I wouldn't go sad, a lot of people do like the 80s, 90s. Um, and I just turn my Alexa on, and if I don't like the song that comes on, I'll say skip. Or, of course, you can do your own playlist if you want to.
Now Ezra just sent me what Funko Ween, the sodas that are coming out, and I gotta get
Yes.
Slimer because that's cool. And the Spider-Man Noir, I gotta get that. I don't care about Stranger Things, no offense, but I don't. Ursula looks cool. And then they got Blacklight Nightmare Before Christmas coming out too.
Yeah, I've got the. Those are a definite for me.
I'm keeping a lot of my sets. Like this is just off the front that I'm keeping. So I'm keeping all the commons of the Christmas ones. I'm keeping the Rocketeer, the Chase Rosie, the Chase Martian Manhunter, the Chase in common set of Willy Wonka and Oompa Loompa. The Batman's not going anywhere. The pink Batman. That's another thing that I want to be buried with is the pink Batman. So I'm not getting rid of my Ninja Turtle ones. I'm not getting rid of my Blacklight Ninja Turtles. So play the Gummy Bear song.
I'm a gummy bear. Hold on. Gummy bear. I used to know that song.
Like the Gummy Bears, like
I'm a gummy bear. I'm a gummy bear.
There's a Gummy Bear song?
There's a gummy bear song. Gummy, 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 gummy bear. Connor used to sing it.
I know there's a
So,
Disney cartoon one, Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere, but I'm assuming that's not what he's talking about.
No, it's gummy bear. And I'm gonna say the same thing over. I'm trying to get it in my head, but yeah, there's a gummy bear song. So Caitlin said that Richard got the creeper, and she doesn't know why she can remember that stuff, but can't remember where she parked her car.
What's mine say? Dude, what's mine say? Sweet. What's mine say? Dude. What's mine say? Sweet. No and then. And then. No and then. So it's going to be a good time. I'm trying to be fair with pricing, but at the same time, I know that they charge like 11%. So I also don't want to lose my rear end. And I whatever I don't sell, then I'll probably of what I am selling, then I'll probably take down to Sarge's and see if he wants any of it. But I'm not gonna stop. I want that diecast Darth Vader really bad. So I like the diecast ones a lot. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with those, but I've also gotten into other things. I've kind of branched out from just doing Funko, so.
And there's
clears it up.
What do they say? Collect what you like. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be all Funko.
Well, I've done this damage in a little over 2 years,
and
so
that's what happens.
It'll go again. I mean, if they release more Back to the Future, I will be on those like flies on poo. Mandalorian ones, then those come out. I will be on those like flies on poo. That's exactly the stuff. Boba Fett's. I try and collect Boba Fett's. Stormtroopers. I have a thing for Stormtroopers. I don't know why. Probably because they're as oblivious as I am.
Yeah, I'm looking at several Stormtroopers over here because Richard loves the Stormtroopers and he loves Boba Fett. And
I got the fighter pilot Stormtrooper in the blue box with the tall letters the other day. I really like him. He's not worth a whole lot, but he's cool.
I think the coolest thing is the die-cast Boba Fett, but the non-chase one.
That's the one I got.
The common is freaking.
You can't see it. Here. He's up there. Along with that, I'm not getting rid of it because I love it, that lesson in the Force, but that is the worst box to try to put anywhere. It's ridiculous. And Newell, I'm going to use your lights for the auction. And this is all the mess from me going through things right here. Wait, here. I'm trying to pull everything out that I'm getting rid of. I kept one Freddy. I kept the Officer Freddy because I got that for Lisa. Well, not for Lisa, but because of Lisa being a cop. I'll never get rid of Alex Trebek chase because I found that it's the first chase I ever found in the wild. I will keep that forever. My Ahsoka, my 8-bit Ninja Turtles I kept. The autograph ones I kept. So, I mean, there's stuff going, but I think I've done a good job of pulling stuff that I can hit a good number of people. It's not all anime. It's not all Star Wars. There's going to be a good portion. The hardest part is getting them all plugged in. And I know it's not a requirement, but I think it's kind of lends credibility to myself being the first show that I have pictures of the boxes and stuff. So I'm taking pictures as I'm loading them up too. And anything that might be damaged.
You got to ship all this stuff now, because
yeah. Well, I bought a printer. We got the boxes. I've got bubble wrap coming. So my mom's already said she will help me, and so we'll just knock it out. So
it killed my back. We'd do a show, and then he and I would get an assembly line type thing going. But still, and I mean, we weren't even doing like high numbers per show, but it was awful. But that's just me.
You did leave lights at my house. They're right there. They're leg lamp lights. I know, thermal printer will save a lot of time. Do I have any One Piece? No, I don't have any One Piece. Anime usually gets turned over to Annalise or where is he? There is one that I guess he's probably worth like $20 or some, but I put a big sticker across his face because I was so sick of it that I just put a big Collector TV sticker across his face. So I can't ever sell that because it's got Collector TV on it. It's made him worthless, but I'm not getting rid of. I mean, there's just a lot. I'm not going to get rid of a lot of the historical figures, the Van Goghs, things like that. That stuff's all staying, you know, but I'm not a big Marvel person. I never have been a big Marvel person. So there's very few that I'm keeping. I'm keeping my Deadpools and the Fantastic Five set that my mom got. And then a couple of, I haven't gone through all of them over here yet. A couple of them over there. Let's put stuff up. Well, that's the other thing is whatever the other option is there's the big Romeo garage sale coming up. And if I advertise that I have Funkos for sale, then that would be another way. But, you know, first will be Whatnot. We'll see what I do. And I don't know that I'm going to put 100. I mean, that's like 450. I'm not shipping out 450 items. So it's going to be the first one I'm coming in with a bang. And then it's going to be, you know, the second round will be, you know, the next wave of stuff where I don't really need it anymore. And I've had more time to think, but I wanted to come in with a bang and it to be fun. So we'll see. I think I jumped up to like 70 some followers from like 32. So that's good. That's really good.
You'll see people jump in and you'll start getting more followers like right then. So it's good to if people go in and bookmark it.
Yeah, there's like 17 or 18 people bookmarked it.
Good.
I'm Geek Meets Eats on there. It's with the which sticker do I have on there? I think it's the hamburger. Yeah, it's the hamburger one. And so I'm up to 73 now, and I have 19 people that have bookmarked it. But Angie, thank you for the advice of I'm going to have, you know, like the listing stuff on this computer, and then I'm going to have another one pointing because all of the 10 inches are getting moved for that night. So I'm going to put them all up here because that's a blank wall, you know, so I have enough room to stack everything there. So stuff will stay on screen when we're doing the mystery and stuff, the mystery box and stuff like that, or the mystery cans. So I know that's important to make sure that you do that. There's no sealed sodas. I can't hold on to a sealed soda. It's like my kryptonite. I have to open it.
We do too.
I'm still trying to find it. It's hard to find folks when you're using a computer. T, let me know. I can ship you the link. But just look under users and then put in Geek Meets Eats, all one word.
Yeah, I'm trying to go on now to make sure that I'm.
I think we're following each other. I know I'm following you. I'm following 161 people. You don't really have a way to like share. Yeah, I do have a way to share my profile. Copy. I'm sending it to you on Instagram, Umpty. We're probably going to end a little early tonight, guys. I do know that I saw a post on Mitch's page that they're going live on Dead Zone's channel. I think at 9 o'clock. So I want to make sure everybody has time to get a drink, do everything else. Again, if you guys have any questions, if you're looking for sodas, before I go on, I've got everything from Jean Lafoot to Zombie Captain America. I've got Green Lantern. There's some of the Christmas ones in there because I bought so many trying to get the chases. So there's a lot here. But take a look, and just in case you're wondering, the Retro Stormtrooper that's up there is one. I will show you that I do have 2 of them. I bought one because I forgot that Obi was sending. Well, I told Obi not to send it to me, and he did anyway because Obi's Obi and Obi's a sweetheart. So he sent me one. So his is over here in a protector on this side. This is the one that Obi sent me. And the one that I bought at Target is back here. Not in a protector. So I kept the one that I was given. I've got Iron Man common that Dead Zone sent me. I won the common. He sent me the chase, but I actually like that chase too. So, stuff like that. If the Scooby-Doo bag gets up to a certain amount, if it goes up for auction, I will throw in the Space Kook soda for free. It's a common, but I'll still throw that in. So, anywho, guys, Angie, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had fun.
Well, thanks for having me. I had a blast.
You got anything coming up this week for either channel?
Just I'm gonna edit a video, probably get for Roscoe Pops. I'm gonna try to get it out tomorrow, and I'm working on a story for Angie uploaded. I just have to finish it up and get it shot.
And you guys really need to check that channel out. Andy uploaded out because, and I forget to comment on them all the time because it's like I'm watching television. Like I keep thinking I'm watching like the Crime Network or something like that. I'm gonna mention something since I have you captivated. Can you do some sort of an update on Jessica McClure? I saw something recently about that. It was like on the Disney Channel about the 80s. And Jessica McClure is the little girl that fell down the well.
Fell in the well.
But that's gotta be what? She's gotta be in her 40s now, right? Early 40s, late 30s?
I was probably late 30s because I think I was probably about 8 when. Well, I don't know. I'm 43, so yeah, I'd say late 30s. But yeah, I can.
It would be interesting to do. So like if you could dig, I would love to watch that. I would watch that, and just see like some of those cases, those things where you don't know what happened, to those kids and stuff like that. You don't see her anywhere. It's not like she's still, on a fame wagon or anything like that. So
yeah.
Thanks, Newell. I appreciate it.
Definitely look into it, and thanks for making a suggestion. And yes, Caitlin loves commenting on them. You ought to go read Caitlin's comments. They are great.
I watch you when I'm in my room, like at night, like I turn you on.
Thing, Brandy. I turn people on, and it's like I'll get so into certain things, and then I'll forget to like, I'll forget to comment, and then I'm like, dang it, I gotta like. And so yeah, but I'm just glad people are watching it. It's been the watches have surpassed Roscoe Pop's watches. Not the subscribers. They're coming slowly, but they are coming. But the watches have actually passed Roscoe Pop's.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And the subs will come. It is what it is. I have fun with just the people that are here. I know I can trust who's here, and those are the people that care. And but I do love your content. And for me, I turn it on. Like I'm like, all right, let's see what she's got going tonight. What was that? What was the one that you did recently? It was a female. What's her name? I don't know why I'm having such trouble remembering names tonight.
Well, I just did Lacey Fletcher, and then I did Melissa Lucio. Or Lucio.
Yeah, let me.
Um,
The Lacey Fletcher one, yeah.
okay, yes.
That was ridiculous.
That was horrible. And yeah. I cannot wait for the trial. I just don't see any explanation that they can come up with that can justify what they did to their own daughter.
I'm questioning, how did someone that knows that family not try and figure out where this kid is?
There are so many questions, Brandy.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of regurgitated in my throat and up into my mouth when the couch.
Yeah. And I blocked, I blocked a lot of it out, but I just wanted, and I debated whether to show it or not, but I thought that everybody should see what this poor girl went through 12 years living. She sat there for 12 years. I don't get it. So.
All right, kids, it is almost 8:30. You have 30 minutes until they're going live on Dead Zone's channel. Please go give them some love. Dead Zone's always been a big supporter and a good friend. So I know Mitch is going to be over there. Love Mitch to death too. So everybody go check them out. I'm Four Horsemen, I'm sure, are going to be on tonight. I don't know whose channel. Go check out umptyscratch.net. That's how you find out whose channel and who's on any given day. Umpty, thank you again for doing that. Eric said too. So enjoy your evening, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next Tuesday night on Whatnot. I will not be here. I will be over there. So I hope you come over. You don't need to buy anything. Just come hang out. It should be a good time. So good night, everybody.
Night.